Wide open spaces, the open range. Well, not really, but sorta. Whenever my soul needs a little soothing, I like to come out to the California desert. After this concussion I got an invitation to go back out to Las Vegas, Nevada to relax for a few days with some friends. And I've decided, you know what? Why not take them up on the offer? But on the way there, I decided to take just a little bit of my favorite highway of all time, Route 66. And of course, I had to stop by this familiar place, Elmer's Bottle Tree Ranch. There's Elmer right over there. I just had a chance to speak to him for the first time. He's greeting some other visitors right now from upstate New York, but he often greets visitors from all over the world. Not surprising. As you guys know, we've been out here, I don't know, half a dozen times, maybe a little bit more. And that was the first time I actually had the opportunity to have a conversation with Elmer. He said this took him 18 years and still going. He worked in a local cement factory in Oro Grande out here for 30 years. Then decided to retire at age 55 and create this. As he just told me, I figured out what I like to do better than working, and so I did it. And boy, am I and untold thousands of other people eternally grateful that he did. No matter how many times I come out here, there's always something new to see. Something different will always catch my eye. It's one of my absolute favorite places on Route 66. And speaking of, I do have just a little bit of an ulterior motive for coming out here. There's a new magazine that just started up called Route Magazine that covers Route 66 and all kinds of road trips and roadside adventures. And the April/May issue, which will be available at Barnes & Noble stores sometime right after April 10th, is going to have a big spread about me and how we took that giant Route 66 journey together. Their official website is routemagazine.us. Go and check it out if you have a chance. I just figured, what better place to let you all know than to take a little detour onto Route 66 itself. I also like to stop out here whenever I possibly can to leave a contribution into the donation wishing well. Like I mentioned, Elmer's retired, so this is how he keeps this place going. This place is so magical. Whenever I'm here, I always want to just stay and stay. But I've got to get to Vegas sometime, so I guess we better keep moving on. There's a couple places I always like to stop when I have a chance. Elmer's is definitely top of the list. The other one is just down Route 66, just a little ways, basically the next town over, here in Barstow, California, at the California Mother Road Museum. The reason I like this museum, not only is it free, but even when it's closed over here, like it is today, there's still plenty to see. And that's because it's located in the old Casa del Desierto, one of the old historic and very swanky railroad hotels operated by Fred Harvey. This was the swankiest way to travel and the swankiest places that you could possibly stay in the old railroad days before Route 66 and car travel took over. Because there's also a railroad museum on the property, which also happens to be closed today, there are a lot of historic trains and train cars, some of which you can basically climb all over as you watch modern railroad traffic cruising by. For this place, not only do I like stopping here anyways, but with the concussion, it makes it difficult to concentrate for long periods of time. So on this long drive, I gotta keep pulling over, rest my brain for a little while. Just safety first. And you know who needs safety? You do. I've done this drive so many dozens of times in my life that I know every stop. I know every gas station. Usually Pilot or Love's is where I stop. And so these last couple stops that we've made are not only very familiar to me, but they've become familiar to some of you as well, who have been following these videos or who make the trip out to Vegas for yourself every once in a while. But between my last journey down this road a couple of months ago and this time, there's been an exciting development. At this point, we split off of old Route 66 and head down to Vegas on I-15, and from what I understand, a brand new place to stop has just opened its doors. So it's time to get back in the car, head on a little further down the highway, and check out the newest place to stop, the Mojave Desert's newest watering hole, Eddy World. I know what you're thinking. Doesn't look like much at first, but look at this. It's a gargantuan dessert! Look at this 30 or 40 foot tall cup of frozen yogurt or ice cream. A giant dessert in the desert. What a treat, literally. Would you look at the size of that ice cream, man. You can imagine all those thirsty, hot, tired travelers stuck in the car, seeing this giant thing and all the kids going, "Pretty please, with a cherry on top, can we stop?" Oh, and it's got a very easy address to remember right here on the corner of Calico and Calico. There's nothing I love more than buildings that are shaped like things or painted to look like other things. That is awesome. I had no idea this was going to be here. Now, Eddie World has been under construction for a couple of years, so the last half a dozen times I've come down this highway, and Calico Ghost Town is only about 2 miles that way, so quite a few times I've been in the neighborhood. There have been all kinds of billboards and signs about Eddie World coming soon. Eddie World, the ultimate place to stop. And since people keep on tweeting me and emailing me about Eddie World, and since I'm always curious about a new place to pee, I guess it's time to see if the inside is any more exciting than the outside. Huh, they say this at Disney World too. Let's go. Ooh, a large foyer. Let's see what all the fuss is about. Whoa. Would you look at the size of this place? Oh my gosh, it's like a TARDIS. It's bigger on the inside. I don't know what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting this. This is nuts. And this is candy. They've got all kinds of licorice, brittles and clusters and fudge, juju fruit and army man, jelly bellies. They got Mike and Ike, gummy candy, sour candy, whoa, crystal candy, even sugar-free candy. Dude, that's a big assortment of sugar-free. And all around, we're surrounded by plush animals. Look at all these cute little things. There's a kanga and a roo, a deer, a camel, a turtle, a couple of lemurs who really like to move it. Ooh, groovy 1960s giraffe. Even a whole family of pigs. That'll do, pig. That'll do. I've been to a lot of tourist places, and some that kind of look like this one, but I don't think I've ever seen so much candy jammed into so... well, I guess it is a pretty big space. Look at this unicorn. I should buy one of these for George. Of course, they got the usual, like, chips and all that nonsense. But then they also have things like this. This basically looks like a stop at a food court, but it's all caramel corn. Or caramel corn. Usually I say caramel, but when it's corn, I say caramel. Is that weird?
Homemade gourmet popcorn, crafted in
small batches. I don't know, that looks like a pretty big operation to me. Dude, and look at this right here. Snake bites, you can get the power of the cobra. With a gigantic gummy snake. Oh no, this one's had an injury. Someone call the snake doctor. Not only is there a giant caramel corn counter, look at the ice cream stop in the corner. It's very pink, looks like something from Main Street, USA. And I think it's the most popular place in the whole operation. I guess that makes sense. After all, we are in the desert. Not only do they have ice cream and caramel corn, if you cross through the candy forest to the other side, they got fresh Jedediah's jerky. One time someone called old Jedediah a jerk, and that gave him an idea. Quit being so jerky, they said, but he never listened. And he's been a lot of jerky ever since. Look at all of this meat. Excuse me, do you have any vegan jerky? Oh, they do. I can't get over how huge this place is. They got all these seating areas.
Oh, and art upon the walls.
That looks like some pretty fine art to me. It's not so great. Sheesh, just my opinion. Ooh, look at this. This looks like some good art. That kind of looks like me right there. What a trip. It's all nice and air conditioned in here. You can quench your thirst with a soda and then turn around and gaze out the window into one of the harshest deserts in the earth. I mean, it's not really that far to Death Valley over those mountains over there. And just a little ways away, you can stop by Eddie World and get some gourmet food. Keep in mind that we're in the middle of nowhere. Whoa. Look at this counter over here. Look at these mosaics. There's all kinds of weird pieces of ceramic decor in here. The people behind the counter think I'm weird for coming down and looking at all this, but this is awesome. I have a salt and pepper shaker just like that. Wow. Oh, ma'am, you dropped your pocket. Look at this guy. This guy might have been in your grandma's kitchen, and now he's part of art. I don't know why out of all the things in here, this impresses me the most. There's just so much work went into that. For what's, let's face it, it's basically a giant gas station. Wow. Ooh, they even have gluten-free stuff. The desert is starting to bloom. Look at that. You can get handcrafted sushi in the desert and then pick up a new best friend. It's so weird because usually I'm going to check these places out 10, 20, 30, 50 years after they've closed. You know, finding old tourist relics on old Route 66. That or I'll go to an old place that's been open that long, you know, like a historical tourist trap. It's not often that I've checked out one that's just been born. I guess this is a piece of the floor of the old Forum where the Lakers used to play. Seems like Eddie is a fan of the the Lakers, huh? Okay, I've got to admit, Eddie World is pretty cool. It's mostly stuffed animals and candy and dessert right now. But it just opened. All they need now is some kind of weird tourist attraction in here, a movie, car, maybe some rides. Maybe a couple of animatronics and you'd have a full-fledged tourist attraction here. It's gotta be expensive to build a place like this in the middle of the desert and open it up. But I've got no doubt that in time, Eddie World will be a smashing success. And yes, that is a piñata pun. Oh man, this is all the candy that we used to get off the trucks that would roll into my neighborhood when I was a kid. I haven't seen some of this stuff in a long time. Reminds me of the old days. Ooh, look at this. A big tortilla. Nothing like starting off your road trip with a candy tortilla. All right, guys, it's time to move along, and I know what you're thinking. Oh, nuts. But I've got to make it a lot farther along down the road. Normally, I wouldn't even really be filming this drive. After all, we've done it a lot of times. But like I said, I got to stop more than normal periodically just to rest, just to be on the safe side. So why not hang out together, huh? Okay, before we leave, I got to tell you, the coolest part about Eddie World was the bathrooms. Even the little signs leading to the bathroom were hilarious. And then not only that, once you got into the bathroom, the urinals actually had video games above them. You aim with your pee. Of course, I got a score of 0. That's because I didn't have to go, but I did check out the stalls, which have a huge full-length door and these crazy door handles with a sanitary sleeve on them, so that every time you leave the restroom, you didn't have to touch your hand to almost anywhere else anyone touched their hand. That's, for a roadside restroom, kind of amazing. All right, let's go. If you're looking more for the old school flavor of a place to stop in the area, especially if you're in the mood for some grub, I highly recommend Peggy Sue's 50s Diner, which is just like an exit or so back. The perfect place to grab a meal. They've got dinosaurs, old school decorations, and then come here to the brand new place to go pee. Ah, look out there in the distance. Do you see it? It's the puppy butt sign. What does it mean? What does it mean? Man, I can't wait to see what else gets added to Eddie World in the future. I have a feeling it's gonna be awesome because it reminds me of another place that used to be pretty plain Jane, but has got pretty crazy over the years. I'm referring, of course, to the now world famous Alien Fresh Jerky. Once upon a time, this place looked like any other run-of-the-mill place, kind of like the outside of Eddie World. The only weird thing about this place was this strange intergalactic vehicle with some alien mannequins inside. And now, the whole humdrum, ordinary-looking business has been transformed into a gargantuan alien spacecraft? Ground trawler? What the heck is that thing? Bit by bit, they've taken their profits and built a giant robot sign, transformed the old original building, and literally every time I come out here, it looks a little bit different. I mean, this looks different than it even did in January. That's awesome. Whoa, and look, this is new too. That wasn't there before, up in the control tower. Those aliens! The one on the left up there's got an animatronic arm. He's waving at us. Hello, alien friend. This is like one of the coolest roadside attractions ever. Started as a simple beef jerky stand with an interesting alien theme, and they've dumped so much money back into the business, making it the wildest stop between LA and Las Vegas. And they're nowhere near finished. Look back there, look at that. Do you guys remember me telling you about their grand plan to build a giant UFO hotel? Well, it's starting to come true. This wasn't even here the last time I was here. I believe this is gonna be some sort of landing pad. They're gonna have a spacecraft up there. The whole plan used to be laid out on a fence over here that's gone now. And there's all kinds of details at the Alien Jerky website, which is UFOhotel.com, of course. See, this is amazing. This is the best thing ever. A roadside jerky stand with a good theme, taking the profits and giving you even more reason to stop. This is awesome. I wish them all the best. And look how fast they're going. You can see why I have to stop here every time just to check what's new. Someday I would love to meet the owners of this place because they're kind of my heroes. This is so awesome. It's amazing that that used to be just your ordinary Southern California kind of brown, boring building. And now we're going to be able to tell our grandchildren, I remember before that landing pad was even complete, before the UFO Hotel even opened. I want to go get a closer look of that, but the doors are all open. There's tools outside, so I don't want anyone to think that I'm trying to do something shady out here, but maybe on the way home. Gosh, it's unbelievable. There wasn't a trace of that being there, nor this thing over here, just 2 months ago. That's insane. If any of you out there ever own a business, look it. This is the power of theming. See what a little creativity can do? This was a simple beef jerky stand in the middle of the desert in a town with more abandoned buildings than occupied buildings. I would bet money that when they were gonna open their first jerky stand over here, people were like, Baker? Not a great place to open up a business. And yet here we are. Look at this place. That's amazing. All right, I've checked up on some old haunts. Got my usual update on the Alien Fresh Jerky UFO Hotel. Now I've got to peace out of here and head on towards Las Vegas. All right, as the sun slowly begins to go down, we've got one more stop to make. And remember how I said the last stop was pretty much in the middle of nowhere? Well, actually, compared to this place, Baker's like a major city. Speaking of themed stops, we had to make a stop here at this Shell station off of Sema Road. Compared to some of the other places, it doesn't get really any attention, but it does have something amazing. Look at this. This ain't any old Shell station. This is a mining-themed Shell station. And look, we got some miners out here. And oh my goodness, we can press a button to see them work. It's working. Look at that. He's panning for gold out here. The only weird thing is, there ain't no more water. Oh!
Don't get too close to that there raccoon that's hiding over there. He's just looking for an excuse to get inside the store and load up on some of those delicious veggie chips. Don't believe me? Well, go on over there. He'll jump on your head and turn himself into a coonskin hat to get inside that store.
What? That's one of the weirdest things I've ever seen outdoors in the desert. I mean, I've seen plenty of animatronics before and animatronic miners. This guy looks an awful lot like those Pappy machines that tell your fortune. But how many of these things do you see outside exposed to the glaring desert sunlight and the occasional rain? Last time I was out here, there was nothing but a hole over here. These miners went missing. I guess even dusty desert miners need a vacation every once in a while.
Welcome to Sema Mining Company, where the mining's good and the jerky's even better. Truth be told, I ain't found any gold or silver in this here stream for years. But I stay here on account of the jerky, nuts, and honey in the store. It's just so darn tasty. Go on inside and get you some smoking hot beef brisket. It is tasty.
Well, dadgum, don't mind if I do. Actually, if these animatronic miners' pronunciation is correct, this is actually called Sema Road. Always looked like Sema to me, but I guess these guys would know. It's the Sema Mining Co. And look, even they've got jerky. What's up with all the jerky out here? All right, let's take a brief look inside the Sema Mining Co. and see what's going on. I love any place that's themed. Wait a minute. What's going on? For a good time, open the door. $1. Too bad I don't have $1. Oh well. It's okay, I think they have other restrooms. Wow, look at the inside of this place. Look at that roof up there. That's awesome. Ooh, the mining theme continues. There's a lot of great stuff to look at in here, but maybe the best part of the whole place is the restroom. With the most majestic urinal in the desert. Look at this natural spring, fed by this little trickle and by your own little trickle. And you can pan for gold and wash your hands at the same time. Now that's worth a stop. Oh, okay, let's go. We can't top that. You guys gotta make sure you stop here if you're heading from LA to Vegas or vice versa. Very important to keep creative places like this alive. Plus, look at this. The sucker inside sold me some real gold for just a couple of bucks. Look at all this. Fool's gold? No!
Not again.
Well, I guess it fits the theme of going to Vegas because there's more fool's gold there than any other place I know of. All right, guys, I got to get back on the road. The sunlight is fast fading and I got a long way to go yet. But I think we've seen some pretty cool stuff. So you know what? We've done our duty. Thanks for sticking with me in the old West. You've done your duty. Go home and sleep well.
thought I meant here in the water. No, I mean rich, tasty gold in the middle of a chocolate honeycomb sponge I just ate from the store. Go get you some before the word spreads and everyone rushes to the store. I've seen it happen before.